All right, we're back, and you won't know this, but we're about 20 minutes late because a guy kind of went off on JoJo for a while. It happens. If you get me started, I don't stop.
I was initially late, so it's my fault. You all can,
It's
can blame me.
Oh,
I had to watch the Phantom Blade Zero trailer.
It's so good. Oh, it's so good. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, it's so we're back. I was out of town for a while, so we weren't able to do podcasts for a hot minute, but we are back, and we've got a good amount of topics because of that. And oh boy, do I think we have like 6 social media was a mistakes this time. So
yeah, we might be doing a speed run through that one.
There's some shit. People need to stop. People need to just
People just need to shut
Twitter.
up.
I think
People, yeah.
Can we just stop everything? Like
this was foot and
Please.
mouth clean up the crotch. This was bad.
Yeah,
But,
this was
all right. Let's start with the old buy or sells here. All right, I'm gonna go straight to Kiona. Kiona, buy or sell that Ninja Gaiden 4 has been announced, and it is a co-production between Platinum Games and Team Ninja.
fucking buy. Fucking buy with my fucking life. Let me tell you something. Okay. Let me talk to you. So I am so pumped for this because like Ninja Gaiden 4, man, I'm so looking forward to it. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black dropped, by the way. They shadow dropped it. It was amazing. If you're going to shadow drop any game, it's better be, it's going to be a Ninja Gaiden game, right? So not only do we have Ninja Gaiden 4, it's co-developed by Team Ninja and Platinum. Platinum now, albeit, is, kind of gutted, but at the same time, it's like new gen Platinum. So we're going to see, like, I'm sure that these guys are like the younger generation. They probably worked on some of the other games that Platinum has made, maybe at a, they were like the lower guys on the totem pole, but now they're like, they're producers now. So I'm thinking that we still have a good like core of like the team that is left. So hopefully it works out well. From what we've seen, it looks great. So it's going to be coming to Game Pass. It's going to be coming to PlayStation 5. It's going to be coming to Xbox and, of course, PC, Steam, and everything. So, they're doing the whole multi-platform with that one, which I think is great. Yeah, I'm super excited for this game. I cannot wait for it. I'm pleased as punch with how Ninja Gaiden 2 Black turned out. It's such a great game. Like, I'm playing through it right now. Let me tell you, so I don't like Souls-likes. I am not a Souls-like person because they make me want to throw my controller against the wall. And as I was playing, like, I remember I was talking to my friends and I was saying, like, as I was playing, I forget which game it was. I think it might have been Flintlock, but it's one of those Souls-like type games, right? And I was just saying to them, like, I remember playing Ninja Gaiden on Xbox, like the original like sequel one that they made, obviously not the NES one, but the one that came out on Xbox, the OG Xbox. And I remember playing that, and I remember thinking to myself, like this is a tough game. Gun Valkyrie was a tough game because of the control scheme, but I had fun playing them. And I'm sitting there going, like, why don't I have fun with Souls-likes? And I think the reason why is because it's slow. It's very methodical. And I think that, like, that works for, I think, a lot of people. For me personally, I like it to be fast because I want enemies' attacks to be fast, and I want to be faster myself so that I can respond to them. So playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black and just seeing how it's like, it's a rough game. It's tough, man. It takes you to the limit, even on normal. It takes a lot of, like experimentation and stuff like that, and a lot of countering. But the fact is that they did it at such a pace that it's like, it's so frenetic and it's so cool. Like the moves that you do as Ryu are just awesome. So like, it works for me. I don't know why. It's just the way that I am as a player, I guess. I prefer a faster pace. And I've never liked stealth in my entire life. I'm not a sneak kind of person, I like to get up in the enemy's faces and just go after them. Which phrasing. But anyway, I think that like Ninja Gaiden 4, to get back to the main topic, I think this is awesome. I think it's really cool. I think we're in a Ninja Gaiden renaissance right now because we have not only Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, not only Ninja Gaiden 4, we also have Ninja Gaiden Ragebound coming out. That is amazing. So, like, we're getting all these Ninja Gaiden games, and I couldn't be happier about it. I think it looks amazing. I think Platinum's going to do a hell of a job, and Team Ninja is back, baby. Let's go. Koei Tecmo, nice job. They got it with Dynasty Warriors. They got it with Ninja Gaiden. I'm so happy. Now I just need Dead or Alive.
All right. All right.
Well, I don't think I can follow up with that.
No, neither. He was the only one I was planning on asking, and we got the answer. All right. Again, Kiona, buy or sell that Phantom Blade Zero is getting extra funding because of how well Black Myth Wukong has done, and they're actually to the point of where they have to turn away investors.
Holy shit. That's amazing. Okay, so I love the way that this is working out because not only Ninja Gaiden 4, also Phantom Blade Zero. This game looks incredible. I just watched the Year of the Snake trailer, and I just watched like half of Max's reaction video to that. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this game. It's just, this is the year of the hack and slash, man. What could I tell you? This is like, it looks amazing. Or at least, you know, if this game conceivably comes out this year. They did not give a release date yet. They said that they will announce it this year, so I don't know. Yeah, it's probably a 2026 game. But it looks fantastic. Like this boss fight that they showed off in the Year of the Snake trailer is super cool. Enemies just do synchronized attacks on you and also resurrect their boss when you kill him. This is so Metal Gear Rising. This is like, yes. I just love this. I want a resurgence of this type of character action game where not everything is Souls-like. You know, that's fine. We can have Souls-likes. Totally fine. But like, we need to, you know, take gaming back to its roots and make it faster paced and action based and just have a lot of fun with it. I think S Game deserves all the funding that they're getting. And from what I've seen of the game, it looks like it looks just freaking amazing. It's gonna be a sick game. Really cool experience. Can't wait for it.
All right.
Whether it's later this year, whether it's 2026.
Yeah. Mike, buy or sell that the Russo brothers said that the endgame portal scene was drastically changed in reshoots. The original concept was the camera rotated around Steve Rogers and everybody was collected behind him.
I buy this. The what happened in the finished product is
world's better.
Yeah, this would have been not nearly as good.
Bree.
Well, here's like my thing. Like, I definitely agree that they did it in the reshoots. Like, I guess the idea was to call back to Avengers 1. But, like, at the same time, I'm like, this movie came out, like, 6 years ago, almost 6 years ago at this point. I'm like, why are we still talking about this? I don't know.
There was an interview that came up because they were talking about...
Right, but who keeps asking these questions? That's more what I want to know.
You've got a whole lot to ask the Russo brothers about otherwise. It very well could be.
Collider?
Huh. I think it
was. I can see them asking that.
I don't know. Just something about, like, I get why you're asking the Marvel people, but I'm like, can we ask them? I'm like, hey, what do you guys think about what's happening? I don't know. People need to stop asking like dumb or like questions we already know the answers to, because like if you looked at any of the BTS stuff, like they had like sets and stuff there, like almost that entire sequence was pretty much redone.
Yeah. All right. Mike, buy or sell the new Daredevil trailer?
Yeah, absolutely. I buy this. I don't think it's on the rundown, the comments that the Daredevil showrunner has been saying lately. I will get to that when we talk about the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man stuff, but it basically boils down to
friendly neighborhood stupidity comments. What?
it basically boils down to Marvel. You need better PR, or at least you need.
And this has been going on for years. I'm like, get your actors to shut the fuck up. Because this keeps happening. I'm like, guys, you're almost like 20 years into this. Like, Jesus Christ.
But yes, the trailer, buy it. It's awesome.
Yes.
Can't wait to see it.
Kiona?
Oh, I buy it. I watched it twice before coming on the show tonight, and yeah, it looks so good.
It does. The only thing
So
I will
good.
say, I want to know who Kingpin's plastic surgeon is. Because
Indeed.
Echo shot him in the face, and he looks
Yeah.
like he walked it off.
Sure
This is
does.
the
Give or
Flash
take,
fringe.
that happened in comics, but he took damage from it. Apparently, it was a blank. Where that scene's going to come back up, and it was a blank.
Apparently. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that happening.
Bree by herself.
She ain't no bullseye.
You know, no, she's not.
I mean, it's Daredevil. I mean, kind of get a conclusion to that. And just like, whatever. Bye.
It looks like they're
Right.
not toning it down, which I think is great.
No.
No.
No,
My
I didn't think
favorite
they
thing
were.
is the guy's like, this is going to be much darker than you saw on Netflix. I'm like, Kingpin decapitated a guy with a car door.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Who's the showrunner, by the way? Who's the showrunner now for this?
Give me one
I
sec.
don't remember. While you're looking that up, I'll ask the Kiona another one of these I had basically for him. Kiona, buy or sell that Marvel Rivals aims to release heroes twice as fast as Overwatch 2. A dev confirmed they plan to release a new hero every 1.5 months.
Damn, I'm shocked with the success that the game is having. With the fact that I personally think it's a better experience than Overwatch. Yeah, I would just say that go while the iron's hot, man. Go while you've got the player base, and definitely do it, because I think that it's just going to increase the popularity of the game. I think having the third person perspective works wonders for this type of game.
Absolutely. Dario
Scardapane.
Scardapane? Name does not ring a bell?
I have never heard of him.
He was the showrunner for or he worked on, I think
That's a good point, Heiser's a good point.
The Punisher. for Netflix.
Oh!
Oh, the Punisher. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Got it. That makes
Okay.
sense.
That
Nice.
makes sense then.
Yes.
Yeah, that I agree with Heiser's. What Heiser's
Yes.
is saying is very important, because yeah, hopefully it doesn't put too much of a strain on the developers or employees. Yeah, I agree with you.
One thing that I think will help them, though, is I think because what will help them, I guess, make heroes easier than Overwatch, they could just pick a comic book character and go, how do we make their powers from the comics work?
Yes, that will definitely.
So they'll have an easier time making heroes,
They
technically.
have a template already, basically.
Yeah.
And also, I'm going to assume a lot of these have probably been in the can for like a while.
Oh, yeah. They have like 12
definitely.
leaked heroes already. And they released all of the Fantastic Four at once. Or announced all of them.
Yeah, they sure did.
It's... All right.
Yeah, they announced them, and yeah, have the two.
Yeah. Yeah, and then all of the Sue Storm. Oh my gosh, goodness gracious. Anyway,
Hey, Umbreon.
Hey, Umbreon. I'm gonna guess Kiona's the only one that would have played this. Kiona, buy or sell the first teaser for the Until Dawn movie.
Oh, so Until Dawn is not something I'm overly familiar with, but I will say that I know for a fact I watched it just now with some friends of mine and in Discord, and we were all watching it, and they were all like, "Yeah, we'll watch this movie." So I'm like, I don't know that I'm terribly optimistic about it being great, but it looks like a good time at the theater. I'll just say that. Yeah, it looks like it'll be fun, a fun popcorn horror flick. But in terms of it adapting the game, I think that they have kind of an interesting gimmick there. With the whole every night it kind of resets. But I don't know about the quality of it. Like, just judging from the trailer, it doesn't look doesn't look like S tier. You know what I mean?
Here's the weird thing. I'm not against the idea of what this movie has in mind. I actually think it's a really cool idea. I do not fucking know why they called this Until Dawn.
Oh, good point. Yeah, I mean, well, just name recognition, probably.
Well,
That has to be.
it's name recognition, but it's like calling a movie Jurassic Park and then having a show about people petting dogs.
Mm-hmm,
I don't,
mm-hmm.
because the whole point of the game technically wasn't you making it until dawn.
Yeah.
It was just not dying.
I do like the fact that Peter Stormare is in it, though.
Yeah, he's in there as his character from the game.
Yeah.
Which, for those that don't know, in the game, you have these sections in between chapters where you're in. I don't want to ruin this for people who haven't played it, but you're playing as a character, basically getting psychiatric tests from this guy, Dr. Hill. And you find out that this guy is a real doctor that actually worked with this guy, and you only ever see him in this imaginary space. And now he's a real guy that's there. It's so weird. Like, again, this is a very interesting concept for a horror movie. I just don't get the decision behind calling it Until Dawn.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you on that. But
because, like, you could, like, here's the other thing. It's okay. We're gonna call this movie Metal Gear Solid.
God.
It's a racing movie because there's Metal Gears in it.
Oh.
Yeah?
Well, at least they got Gran Turismo right. At least they got that one right.
Yeah.
Well, not really, actually, because if you think about it, it should have just been well, anyway, I don't know.
It is technically based on the guy that does, but yeah, it's weird. It looks cool. I wanted to be in the boardroom when that decision was made. By yourself.
I mean, yeah, I buy this trailer as a non player of the game. I'm mostly just excited for the fact that David F. Sandberg is coming back to his horror roots, and he could definitely use a win after the last Shazam movie.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
For anyone for Mike and Bree, I don't know if you know anything about the game. The reason why I'm weird about it, the original game is literally you just playing through scenes and making the right choices to not make characters die at a cabin on top of a mountain that is surrounded with wendigos. So I was very confused when I saw this trailer. But I'll still watch. But yeah, anyway, Bree
just tied
by herself.
Low-key, I didn't watch the trailer, but honestly, after that last screwing of like Shazam 2, I'm like, I feel bad for this guy because nothing that happened was his fault at all. He just needs a W, like real bad.
Yeah, he's a good director. All right, Kiona. Breaking news: Sega has filed trademarks for Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah, we're gonna get a new Echo the Dolphin, baby. Yes.
I saw this and went, "What the fuck are we doing?"
I don't do it. I say do it. Let's file all the trademarks. They filed the trademark for Skies of Arcadia, man. I'm down for a new Skies of Arcadia.
I was down for a new Skies of Arcadia, but I kind of went, all right, we're gonna bring back Sonic and also Echo the Dolphin.
The next trademark that they're gonna do, the next one, is gonna be Seaman. Wait for it. Dude, if they brought back Space Channel 5, I would literally, my fucking brain would explode.
You know that they're still actively defecting a movie for that, right?
Are they still?
Yeah.
Shit.
Is it sad that I mean?
Where's Apollo Smile when we need her? Wow. I feel old now.
Well, he's true. He's got a point because every Sonic character is blank the blank.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. Yeah.
So he's not wrong.
You're right.
He's not wrong.
No.
All right.
Still waiting for my Big the Cat game, and also movie appearance.
He needs to be
Never.
voiced by
For that.
He needs to be voiced
Never.
by what's his name? Brad Garrett.
Yes, so much.
Dude,
So.
I am the Seven Kingdoms of
I
Miku
am the Iron Throne.
I can't see past the horizon. Hatsune Miku. That's my favorite thing to scream out at
Jesus.
cons whenever I see a Miku cosplayer. Okay, none of you guys, I believe, watch wrestling besides me and Kyoto, but I'll ask.
A little bit.
Bree, buy or sell that Alexa Bliss is voice acting in the English dub of Sakamoto Days.
I actually just listened to her. She doesn't sound bad. And I actually looked up. I think this isn't the first time she's done anime either.
Really?
Yeah, I think she's.
Interesting.
Yeah, let me just see.
That's news to me.
I
Yeah,
like
she-
that.
I mean, she's paired in the one clip of like Pro ZD. I'm like, that's already like freaking like magical. Like I'm.
OCD is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, yeah. She also did the dub of Queen's. The Queen of Villains. That was another Netflix anime. So
That's so weird. That has to be a thing she likes doing because because what they get paid is like a percentage of what she gets paid to be a wrestler. But
well, I mean, you're right, but also all Netflix anime, I believe, is union, so they do the higher rates than like some of the other companies.
I know, but higher
Yeah,
rates
no,
for
I
voice
get what
actors
you're
is
saying.
still garbage.
No, I agree with you. It's still absolutely
Yeah.
garbage. But honestly, for character, the clip, it honestly like kind of fits.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm good for people getting new people in voice acting. Absolutely, Alexa's got a great voice to her. Kiona, buy or sell?
I'll buy that. I like Alexa Bliss. Yeah,
I do
think
too.
she's. Yeah,
Yeah.
excited.
Mike,
excited to
buy or
see her
sell
come.
some fresh blood in the voice acting game.
Of course. And also, I think it'd just be cool to see more intersection between wrestling and the anime world.
I mean, because
because
it's
we
really
know-
a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
It's right. It just always happens.
Yeah,
We just need to keep that going.
we need more shows like Invincible Fight Girl.
Yes.
We do. All right. I know this isn't a person you're all that interested in, Bree, but I'll ask. Buy or sell that Cynthia Erivo wants to play Storm in the MCU.
I'm like, bitch, if you can like hit the high notes in the battle cry, Laura. Have you ever seen like behind the scenes footage of her filming Defying Gravity? So she's in like one of the zero gravity rings, and she's like singing like on a blue screen, like doing backflips. I'm like, bitch, you can do whatever you want. Like, I don't care whatever like weird shit you want to do. Like, honestly, she was already in like Storm like mini camp. Like, she will wear that harness. Yeah. Like, she does her own stunts that they will allow her to do. I'm like, and she's actually of like African descent. Like, her parents are like immigrants. So actually, this would probably be the most comic accurate Storm ever. So yeah.
Right.
Mike.
I've kind of been on the fence, but after that explanation, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Why not?
Kiona?
Definitely buy it. I would like to see her do that. I think she could also pull off a very Claremontian, Shakespearean sort of Storm as well. I think she could pull that off.
Well, that's what I'm thinking too. Like,
90s X-Men, Claremont route.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm assuming they're going to go with, because that's kind of like the, safest version of X-Men you can make.
Yeah, I like the way that they adapted that in 97 as well. They kind of kept her being very like verbose, but yes. Yet they kind of tweaked it to be more modern, like she's not quite as winds and the elements, and
don't worry, child.
I love that.
I shall create a snowstorm.
Iceman sitting there going like, nobody trusts Iceman.
Speaking of which, since we're on the topic, I still have more of these. They're so cute. I did this like Kickstarter. I just look at this little guy. He's just such a cute little guy. He's just a little guy.
I love him.
And look, I have another daddy right here too. The daddiest of daddies, in fact.
Daddiest of
There
daddies.
we go. He's
Oh, there he is.
It's really, but that one looks like a legit child.
I really, honestly thought they were gonna go the Onslaught route.
I thought they were too.
I thought they were gonna do Onslaught,
No,
So
but
did
I have like a ton of these,
but not yet. Maybe.
Yeah.
but my Cajun children are on my laptop. But any more than X-Men, yee,
Yes.
because that means more
Love
merch.
Yes. All right. Mike, buy or sell that Andy Muschietti says the 3-season plan for the It prequel series. Welcome to Derry. The first season is in 1962. The second season is in 1935. And the third season is in 1908.
Yeah, I buy
Jesus.
that. I gotta see how the first season does. First things first, because with streaming shows these days, even on HBO, it's not guaranteed that they'll last as long as you want them to.
Beware the axe.
Yeah, genuinely, like, the idea of 3 seasons is cool, but if this genuinely gets, like, more than 1 season, I would be surprised.
We'll see.
Brian,
Right.
good point.
Alien spores during.
Oh, speaking of that, did you guys see the teaser for Alien Earth?
I did.
Oh crap, I didn't.
Oh, it's so good.
It looks good.
Okay.
All right, we can
I'll watch
we can call the alien spores the asbestos blankets.
God damn it.
Anyone who has ever seen the clip of Markiplier explaining how the Pilgrims came over, it's one of the funniest things you'll ever hear in your life. I promise you. I'd be surprised if he cancel after 3 episodes. Kiona, buy or sell the rumor that reportedly George Miller met with Kevin Feige to direct Thor 5.
Wow. Okay.
Apparently, Chris Hemsworth helped set up a meeting.
I could see that. I could see him doing that. I guess I buy that it happened. I don't know that anything would come of that, but that would definitely be an interesting take on Thor.
I mean, the acclaimed director of Happy Feet. You gotta.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, he's done other things? Sorry.
Yeah, he's done a few other things.
A few other things. Yeah, it's.
Few.
Mike.
Are they bringing Enya back so she can play Magic again?
Maybe.
That would be awesome.
That would be
That
awesome.
would be sweet. That would be sweet.
Yeah.
Mike, buy or sell that Rory McCann has been cast as Balin Skull in Ahsoka Season 2 and will replace Ray Stevenson in the role.
It's unfortunate that I buy this because, it's still kind of sad that we lost Ray Stevenson, but
Yeah.
as far as his look, he's pretty uncanny.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah.
Bree?
I mean, it sucks that it happened. I mean, but this is a pretty good like cast replacement. I mean, that's like the best option, and it's just because of the way things are. Like this could easily be like a CG monstrosity, and just no.
Yeah.
No.
Kiona?
I buy it. Yeah. Sadly, of course, but
Yeah, sadly.
yeah. I mean, I guess like Bree said, it's the best option, and Mike, I'm sure.
All right. Kiona, buy or sell that Donnie Yen reveals he may direct the John Wick spin-off film for his character Kane. Quote,
I'd buy
I
that.
think
I'd be all
both the
for that.
fans and the studio want this to happen.
I would be all for that. Yes, absolutely. Donnie Yen in anything is absolute A+. Do it.
Absolutely, Mike.
Right,
Without
right?
a doubt, I buy this.
Yes, absolutely. Bree?
Yeah, I buy.
Absolutely. Okay,
What
so
happens?
I hope so too. It'd be great. I just need to see another one of those videos. All right, so one last one. Kiona, buy or sell that shocking Capcom is working on a Resident Evil remaster. is developing a Resident Evil 1 remake and will be released in 2026 on the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the series.
What?
That figures. That figures. You know what? I'm very surprised by this news. Can you tell that I am shocked and awed by this news? Yes, I'm very surprised.
My flabbers
I'm a little surprised that it's
officially
Resident Evil
gasted.
1.
That's the
But
rumor. That's the rumor.
that's the rumor. Okay, I mean,
Yes.
I'll go for that. I think that that's kind of a missing piece because if you consider that it hasn't been remade in like modern standards, so
Yeah,
I think
you're
that would
not.
be interesting.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, and yes,
Heisers.
Heisers, I agree.
I will admit, it is
Also,
the
hi, Paul.
least. It's the least shitty AI announcement that people have ever made, but it
Yeah.
still involves AI, so I'm not happy.
Yeah,
But,
not entirely
all right,
happy.
so I'm going to give you guys this topic to chat on for a bit, and then I have to go blow my nose. The Nintendo Switch reveal trailer. I will be right back. You guys can talk for a while.
What
Well,
exactly
it's-
did it reveal?
That it's a Nintendo Switch.
That it's a Switch? They went back to an LCD screen for this. They made it like about an inch larger. They went back to an LCD screen, not an OLED. They did not announce the actual specs of the thing. I think I would just say that I was very underwhelmed by that.
I mean, it's definitely a Switch. Well, I think they're holding it back. This is more like
yeah,
that very put together, like, fuck it with the leaks. Here, it's called the Switch 2. You're welcome. Leave us alone.
you know what, Umbreon, they're not wrong because the teaser was designed to be like a very like quote unquote sexy, reveal of that, but honestly, it just I got burned out by all of the rumors and leaks as well.
I mean, I'm not surprised that the initial one's not OLED because I guess because of
Yeah.
any of the speculations, just to try to keep the cost down.
cost down. Yeah, that makes sense.
absolutely.
But I can't say that I'm super, excited about it. Or
Did they say when the Switch?
we'll
is
wait for
coming
the
out?
specs.
I'm
Yeah,
going to imagine a holiday this year. I don't think they said an exact date, though.
I would say either late summer or early fall.
I saw someone online say this was the most, console like announcement ever.
Well, I mean, that's what people want
Yeah.
is like an updated
Yeah.
version of the Switch. So I'm like, what do you expect? I'm like, it's a fucking Switch.
Yeah. I will say, watching the trailer, and I'm glad I wasn't the only one that thought it, that I saw the repair technician's nightmare in live
that's
reactions during that.
the direct for it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's the direct.
Lord, no, it's not coming out in April.
Yeah, unless they shadow drop it, which would be fucking insane. Just shadow drop a
guys got
console.
the
They
back
pull a
of Best-
Sega Saturn and shadow drop it.
Guys coming out of the back of Best Buy with crates of Switch 2s. That freaking place would get. Good Lord. But,
I will quote my friend Lucy, who I see is lurking in here. Not to call you out, Lucy, but I need to quote you, and just say that, like he said, I want 2 Switches, but not the kind Nintendo makes.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Did you guys see the repair technician's nightmare that they put into the system?
Oh God.
The little connector for the Joy-Cons that'll easily snap right off when some kid gets pissed trying to reconnect his Joy-Cons because they don't slide on anymore. They click into a little freaking 1/8 of an inch by a 1/2 inch connector.
Oh,
That
geez.
thing is gonna get broke so
It's gonna get
easily.
broken. Yeah.
That's gonna be the first revision when they make the second version of the Switch, because it'll be like, hey, we fixed the connector we didn't know was a
Back to the
problem.
sliding, little guys.
Ugh.
I mean, I get why they did it because magnets would probably be less like wear and tear, but also children.
Yeah, children.
Yeah, I'll take the wear and tear over a child snapping your. What did they put a price point on it?
No, they haven't revealed anything. They just said "fuck you." It's Switch 2.
Yeah,
that
they
was
just
literally
said,
the announcement.
It's bigger.
The Joy-Con
yeah,
drift. Oh God.
That is one thing that supposedly, and I didn't know what Hall effect meant and I started looking it up after, the
The Scott
DualSense
Hall effect.
Xbox controller came out. But I guess Hall effect is a thing that's meant to eliminate stick drift.
Yeah, and they seem to focus on that. So it's generally like, yeah, we know, we fixed it, but now there's a new problem.
Yeah,
so cool.
I guess that's the whole point of
If there was anyone who would be able to fix stick drift, it would have been Scott Hall.
I bet he had a good stick drift. Just the ladies liked it a lot. Anyway, $400 probably is pretty accurate.
Yeah, I would think so, Umbreon. Yeah,
That's probably pretty accurate. All right. So did anyone see the Code Violet trailer?
I did. I watched it. Yes, that looks sick. That looks
So
awesome,
they
dude.
just went, "Fuck it, Capcom. We'll do it ourselves."
Yeah, we'll do it ourselves.
That's what it sounds like.
It looks so good.
The horror and person crying while singing. Oh shoot! Now I can't think of the nursery rhyme. Rockabye Baby when they're going through the spaceship with the eggs and shit. She's progressively breaking down crying. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? It looks scary as hell. It looks awesome. I can't wait.
It's really good, honestly. Yeah, that's good work.
Yeah, and if it kicks Capcom in the ass and they're like, what do you mean people like dinosaur games? We should make Exoprimal 2. We don't have any other dino-themed IPs, do we?
Well, there are IPs that we got.
What do you mean we have a game called Dino Crisis, Ted? Why did you tell me? It's the Vince McMahon version of, that's a burrito. No, this is a steak wrap. This is not a burrito. No, that's Dino Crisis. You have it in your hands, Vince. It's right there.
Before we get into this, like, this game is becoming more of a hotter and hotter mess.
This detail made me laugh so hard. Update. Assassin's Creed Shadow Japan's Steam page has replaced the label Samurai for Yosuke to Unique Warrior.
What? Oh my god.
I laughed till I pissed myself when I saw that. That is the smallest yet biggest backtrack in history. That's exactly how I felt, Umbria.
I couldn't believe it. Timeline.
I could not believe it.
No, I'm like, honestly, I'm like, whoever made the decision, I'm sorry, you're a fucking pussy.
Here's the thing. Here's the great thing. Like, also on top of the other discourse, there was other things going on. It's like, great. I can't wait to play this game where we have a black man executing a bunch of Japanese people. Like, did everybody forget where Ezio burned an entire underground town to kill one guy? We've had genocidal people of opposite realms and other things. And then someone else brought up, they're like, yeah, wait until you're shooting up a bunch of white people as a Latina in GTA 6, but I bet no one complains about that.
You know, that is like so true. It's like, oh my god, like just admit that you hate black people. Like, Jesus Christ.
Exactly. No one's going to comment on that. I'm just like, what are we doing? Probably change it on January.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh god, that's funny.
That feels like the truth.
This change is not. Oh, I forgot to write the other part. This change is not seen on other regions' pages for the game, and it's unclear if Ubisoft or Valve's Asian branch made the decision. But it's only on the Japanese version.
Unique Warrior.
Speaking of weird, I need to bring this article up because we love shooting up white people. It's the United States' favorite thing to do. They even teach in schools. That's one of the worst things I've ever said. That's
not going on a shirt.
No,
Bob's gonna get a call tomorrow morning.
I'm on a list now? What was that? Sorry. I shouldn't have said that. It's staying in the edit.
Wow.
That's fucking fantastic.
That's fucking great. Oh my god.
That's fantastic.
No, but seriously, of all the gameplay, it's like everything about this game is just looking like to be an absolute shit show.
Like the word, like I've heard some decent things. Like they're trying some cool stuff where no one said anything about American airports. That's where the rich people.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you.
Brock's FBI agent is about to work OT. We're barely 40 minutes into this podcast and I'm on a list. This is not good.
The Twitch TOS bot sitting there running around our streams right now.
Rock's on a FBI wrist. We're on a roll fly wrist.
So we're going to speak on some other, not things that upset the U.S. So U.S. has designated Tencent as a Chinese military company. I wish I was making this up.
I know, I heard about this.
I wish I was making this up.
Oh.
So I got to read into this article because this blew my mind. The U.S. has added several Chinese technology companies, including the gaming and social media giant Tencent and battery maker CATL, to a list of businesses they say are in China's military. A list serves as a warning to American companies and organizations about risks of doing business with Chinese entities. While the inclusion does not mean an immediate ban, it does add pressure on the United States Treasury Department to sanction the firms. Tencent, and I'm just going to call it cattle because I'm not exactly sure what you're supposed to do, have denied involvement with the Chinese military, while Beijing said the decision amounted to unreasonable suppression of Chinese companies. The Department of Defense, DoD, lists the Chinese military companies in which formerly known as Section 1260H, oh my, I'm not meant to read this shit, is updated annually and now includes 134 firms.
God damn it, Umbreon. I hate how accurate that is.
Yeah, no. I was going to bring that up. They're like, people think this is a joke. What if they ban League?
Oh shit. That ain't gonna happen.
Because Riot is owned by Tencent.
Yeah.
So...
And like half of Hollywood is too, so I'm like,
And also Marvel Rivals is, if I'm not mistaken, is the parent company for who made Rivals?
It's
NetEase?
Yeah,
No.
NetEase. Yeah.
Is it NetEase?
Oh,
yeah. It is NetEase.
No, well, I expect there's going to be a lot of generous donations to certain politicians' re-election campaigns.
It's unreal. Tencent. Oh, then right underneath it, Tencent will take legal action on the United States government if it's not declassified as a Chinese military company. I'm like, I understand that owning League makes you a world enemy, but
I think we're taking
everybody wants to be my enemy.
Thank God we have Pete Hegseth to handle this rationally.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, we're moving on from that because I don't want this podcast to be any more what I want to say, political than it needs to be. But news. The Game Awards requests to trademark its name and has been refused for the genericness of its trademark.
You know what this reminds me so much of is that one time Disney tried to copyright Cinco de Mayo. When they're trying to copyright Coco, because I guess not Cinco de Mayo, Dia de Muertos, sorry.
Oh, okay. I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you couldn't really... Yeah, you can't... It's really weird on that, because then you go back to... You guys remember when the Fine Brothers tried to trademark the word react?
Yep. Yes, I remember that.
I just...
hellscape that we're in.
Internet's a great place. All right, so...
The best place, even.
Oh, the best place. Yeah, yeah. So, Bungie is reportedly working on a new MOBA Smash Brothers hybrid under a new PlayStation studio. The game uses percentage-based damage systems where characters can be knocked back further or knocked off the map based on how much damage they've taken. This, if true, is what they should have done for a fucking while, and they're making a second crack at PlayStation All-Stars. Because they have good characters that can make that game work.
I wouldn't mind if it was PlayStation All-Stars. Yeah.
Because ever since they've gotten stuff like Jin Sakai from Ghost, Aloy, they have a shitload of characters where they can actually fill out that roster decently now.
Yeah, they could.
It was a good game. It's just, it was kind of clunky. I don't know how to properly explain it, but...
I mean, that's...
Bungie's working on it?
You know,
supposedly. People from Bungie are supposed to be working on it.
I mean, that's pretty much like a side effect of most, like, I don't want to say Smash clones, but they are Smash clones, is that...
Yeah.
I mean, bring something, like, new to it. But you're right, that PlayStation has, like, way more, like, IP, like...
Yeah.
I mean, we have Astrobot now, too, so...
Yeah. The IP thing is
some
also
Guardians
something
in the game, too, now that it's a Bungie thing.
Yeah, that's the thing
Some
that you're going to say problems with Smash clones
shoot everyone.
is coming up with characters.
Yeah.
Sony's one of the few ones that can do that.
Exactly.
From Bungie, oh no. Well, like they could put Cade. They could Savala. They could do a lot of things. You don't want him to have a taunt that says, "Oh my cotton socks." Come on.
Let Cade stay dead. If you're not gonna bring him back, don't bring him back.
If this happens, Sly Cooper to be added to this game. Oh, annoyingly, but Sly Cooper's going to become the band. Who's going to become the band? Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Sly would come into PlayStation All Stars if they kept that regular faster than Banjo got into Smash, which still blows my mind. It took that long. They added, my favorite part about that was they added him into Smash. The world exploded. Xbox got flooded with messages, and Phil went, "Yeah, that's a really great thing. I think we might look into that." A month later, yeah, there's really no, desire for platformers. I don't think anyone wants them. Phil, I'm going to shoot you. Wasn't there a band that performed with nothing but socks?
No, I'm going to shoot.
If I'm not on a list already!
Phil Spencer is just sitting there like, but why, Brock? Why do you want to shoot me? Is it because I constantly do this with my hands?
Is it
because I'm constantly saying Xbox on with my hand?
Deuces, like Xbox.
Is it because I've been consistently caught lying my ass off more than any other gaming personality for years with a lot of receipts to go with it? Just maybe! Phil, it's my IP. Sit on it and do nothing with it.
Yeah.
I cannot say much more.
Entirely.
Sony does some of that same shit too, so I can't say any of that. Because they refuse to let people third party it. If they do what Nintendo does, it would be smart.
Yeah,
because Nintendo doesn't have their own companies. They just license all their shit out.
They just license.
And they have people make them, yeah.
Get a lot of fees for that.
Absolutely. All right, so Microsoft Flight Simulator, Halo Chief, the Master Chief Collection are both coming to Nintendo Switch and PS5. I'm sorry if it makes you feel better. FBI agent probably knows mine. Awesome.
I want it to be called Halo Chief, the Master Collection now.
I know, I said that really bad. Halo Chief, the Master Collection. I'm having too good of a time, okay?
Crack that
Chief,
whip.
the Master Collection.
Halo Master, the Chief Collection. Halo Collection, the Chief Master.
That could be taken in a very dark direction if we did that one.
I'll call my unit the Halo Chief. Does that work?
What about the chiefening?
It's got a big ring, okay? What?
What about the chiefening?
The chiefening.
And you know what comes out of my ring? The flood. Anyway, we're moving on. We're going.
Oh,
it's been too long since we've done a podcast. All the stupid is just stored in me.
Yeah.
So do you honestly believe that when the Switch 2 drops, that's been the biggest thing that since they've switched to Unreal 5, that Halo is now more easily able to be put onto other systems.
More easy to port.
No, I can buy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So imagine telling your kids you used to only be on certain Umbreon, that's going to be a whole kettle of fish to open up when I want to have kids at some point, but we'll see about that. Yeah, I believe it will happen, and I tell you now, I normally only go on Twitter to get the topics for this and then go back off. I'm probably going to spend a little bit more time than I need to on Twitter if they actually officially announce that Halo will be on a PlayStation. Because I think Twitter might actually finally explode.
Probably.
Because my favorite part about that, it's Destin something is one of the biggest Xbox fanboys on the planet, and he got to interview Phil Spencer. And it was genuinely, Phil was being really open and honest, and then Destin goes, so Phil, we have to know, there's obviously red tape and certain games like Starfield and Halo are off the map and PlayStation won't be getting those. And Phil just goes, no. And you see the life drain out of this guy's face live on camera. And it was hilarious.
That's great.
Why is there a toaster over there, Carter? I named it after the leader of the whole team. Lord. I already saw you used to have to connect the red and yellow. When I have to explain to my nephews that your TV used to have to be on channel 3 in order to make it work, they don't believe me. Or what was it? Line or AV? No, what the hell were the channels called? Line 1 or Line In? What were they called?
I think AV1, AV2.
Yeah,
that could be.
Was usually.
Or do you remember the old Super Nintendo connector that had the 3 screw-in prongs you had to have?
Oh my god.
The old metal monstrosity. Oh my gosh. When you were a kid, you had to visit a person to trade Pokemon cards. Dude, that felt like back alley drug trading when you were getting cards from your local department store. They had to oh, you want the thing in the case? Just hand over the money. You felt so good. I don't know what's gotten into me. I'm sleep deprived. I haven't done a podcast in a while. Okay. So, Kiona, I believe we talked about. No, I don't remember who put it in.
I think that might have been me.
Might have been
Was it you? Might have been.
I don't think I put anything
so
in.
That Transformers Reactivated, was it? Reactivated got canceled. Apparently that game was a scam.
What?
Wait, this is a supposed rumor and a report on a rumor that sad ending was essentially started as a scam. Liu only worked on wanted Hasbro's property license so that they could have a growing portfolio to increase the value when selling the company to Tencent. Alexa Yu took that money and walked off. Transformers Rise of console game over the years, but sadly, the part that both Liu and Splash Damage had to lay off employees due to cutting the project midway. Mad props to the one investigating journalist who discovered the shady nature of the game since the beginning.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh, I did have. You're right. The jet lag might finally be catching up to me. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's yeah. Anyway, so I have to find out where this tweet is because Square Enix. Oh boy, this is what happens when I gather info and then we don't do a podcast for a month. Square Enix has published a new policy that says it will take legal action against the harassment of its employees and executives. Square Enix will cease to provide its products and services to offenders if its users' behavior seems deemed to be excessive or malicious intent. Square Enix will take legal action, including criminal proceedings.
Damn.
Seems to be extreme.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where, oh yeah, hold on. This is what I wanted to. So I'm going to message this to. I'm going to message this to myself on Facebook so that I can bring this up on the old screen here. Handsome. I mean, Brock Hatfield. There he is. So let's see here. There we go. Let's pop this bad boy up. I get to read legal documents again. Yay.
Oh, yay.
Oh, yay. because I never screw up Master Chief the Halo collection. Did I say it differently? I don't know. But all right.
Halo Chief the Master Collection.
Daddy's gonna get on his cheaters here. Square Enix believes that the feedback and comments and requests received from our customers are essential to the advancement of our group's products and services. Going on, what they consider harassment. An act of violence, violent behavior, abusive language, intimidation, coercion, duress, excessive pursuit, or reprimand, defamation, slander, or denial of personality, personal attack, including email, contact in contact form, comment on posts on the internet, advance notice of wrongdoing, advance notice of obstruction of business, persistent inquiries, repeated visits, trespassing by visiting, staying in an office or related facilities without permission, unlawful restraint, including telephone calls or online inquiries, discriminatory speech and conduct regarding race, ethnicity, religion, family origin, occupation, etc., infringement of privacy by taking pictures or videos or recordings without consent, sexual harassment, stalking, repeated stalking behavior, undue demand, unreasonable changes or exchange of product requested or monetary compensation, unreasonable response or request for an apology, excessive requests for provisions and products and services exceeded with social acceptive norms. They're not screwing around.
We're not fucking around with this one, no.
No.
Honestly, low-key kind of good as much as Squeenix, which is what I'm calling them now, has kind of done some sketchy shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, gamers have gotten a little too bold, and they need to suffer consequences for it, as Umbreon said.
Yes.
Yes, they do. It's the Jason Kelsey effect. You say that shit in person, you don't get away with it magically.
Yeah.
Still, just him with that phone. Boom.
Yeah. In my opinion,
I agree.
Jason was still in the right in that opinion, and I will die on that hill.
Yep.
But that's crazy to me. All right, so we're getting through the gaming stuff. I swear to God, we had a long backlog for not doing this podcast for two weeks.
Yeah, for real.
All right, so PlayStation sets up a new studio, and they have job listings. We are a newly established AAA studio in Los Angeles, driven by a team of seasoned industry leaders and experienced game developers. Our mission to create the next groundbreaking AAA original IP while imagining the developing process with a lean and highly effective approach. We're seeking talented individuals who share our vision and are eager to join us on this journey. Sony PlayStation Studios is seeking an outstanding
you just
talent.
need to do that voice all the time. Like, I'm sorry, what the hell is that?
We're going to try it again. All right. Sony PlayStation Studios is seeking outstanding talent to join our passionate and creative families in creating the next high-profile PlayStation console title. We're seeking a senior producer based on locations in our LA studio who will be rallied. Okay. I got a head rush.
Here, I'll take over for you, Brock, if you want. I can help you out.
You want to give her a try on that last paragraph? You give her a shot.
Well, I'm gonna do my own voice here. This is.
I don't know where that voice came from, but I like it.
Senior producer voice. Here we go. We are seeking a senior producer based on location in our LA studio who will be relied upon to collaborate with senior leadership, creative leads, and studio directors to develop, maintain, and execute on project planning for the teams. You are the strategic leader for the production team, so get out front and lead. The ideal candidate will possess a combination of project management, communication skills, and a passion for making games. Help us create.
Can I say the last line?
Please do.
Help us create our next AAA title that will stand apart from the rest.
I think I just found our next YouTube short. Can Dusty Rhodes? I don't know if I can read that whole thing as Macho Man.
Oh God, no.
Heisers? That is on
the senior producer based on.
We're gonna be starting in LA, brother.
God.
Umbreon, that is my dream job. I want to someday do voice acting as a dream job, and I've gotten to voice act twice for Tyler. Wait, I can't do Jesse Ventura's. I can do Macho Man, but I can't. That whole bit needs to be
Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, if someone wants to do
somebody with a passion for games, McMahon.
They call me a sexual games enthusiast. I ain't got time to program.
I may not be a sexual Tyrannosaurus in real life, but I can damn sure play one in a game, brother.
But I can sure animate one.
All right, let me just... There is no Dino Crisis.
Hey,
I
man.
like that.
Hey,
Bree, we
if you
need
ever
to
want
we
me
need
to-
more of that ASMR Bree voice, please.
yeah.
I also used to be a radio DJ in college. I had my own radio show, so
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
That makes sense. That
so the
makes sense.
voice exists.
Well done. Well done.
Paul, if you ever want me to do voice acting, you let me know, buddy. Boom sauce ready to QA. Anyway, but
I'm gonna die editing this.
She's gonna hit this and go, "What the fuck were they on? There was a gas leak somewhere."
What is happening?
That would be the YouTube short. There is a gas leak in Zero-In.
That's going across the United States because none of us are in the same state.
No, we're barely.
Simultaneous.
Just a Nexus event.
Oh.
There's a fine thin strip of toxic gas that hit the
When
United
it's just
States.
posted.
No edits, posted uncut. Don't worry. She's just gonna make sure our volumes are right. I don't see any of that shit getting cut.
Nope.
No, I don't have time for that.
No. All right, now we're gonna go on to something more serious. Sony patents smell-o-vision.
What are these topics? Why did you choose
I had
these?
2.5 weeks to come up with topics. You guys left me alone for 2 weeks.
I mean, you were trapped
Shut
in your
up.
hotel room. I mean, it wasn't your fault.
Willem Dafoe suddenly appears and goes, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You
Weeks.
left with topics.
Avenge me!
Come on, Brock.
The new
Do it.
That just tickles my brain.
What if it was one guy with 6 guns? If anyone in the comments knows what movie that's from, you're my best friend.
My
I love that fucking
God.
movie. I'm more dumbfounded by Sony than I am by Brock on this one.
So
I
the
hope so.
television thing, is that literally what they want to do?
It's-
Like
it's-
the thing in the Disney rides, put it in the controller?
So they patented it as a video game aroma system. A new technology could simulate odors of video game worlds and enhance player immersion. I instantly thought of the Great Mighty Pooh from Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yes.
So what you're telling me is that PlayStation is basically, developed a Febreze plugin? Like, is that what you're telling me?
It's like the Rumble Pack. You just stick it in the.
It's just like a wick or like the Febreze thing, but they will charge $90 for it,
God.
which
And
is
it'll
still
be
cheaper than Bath and Body Works. But okay,
It'll be in
Oh God.
collaboration with that new DC Comics Harley Quinn thing.
oh
God.
god,
Yes, that's what I was thinking of exactly. It's
No, I
the
was
same people that
too.
brought us the.
Oh,
Harley
Umbreon.
Quinn
One of the
thing.
things where we could mention that there's layoffs, but it's just it's Ubisoft. More of it's going to happen, so I'm waiting until all that's done to talk
yeah,
about
because I
stuff.
mean they're like drowning right now. So
They are. Okay, so on to a much more serious topic. Animator files $10 billion lawsuit over Moana's franchise, over
God.
Disney's Moana franchise.
can I like talk about this?
Go,
Yeah, I'm
right
pulling-
ahead.
I'm pulling up the original story so I can follow. along.
Okay,
So am I.
you know what? Like, I'm not going to act like Disney is a
jeez.
good angelic company that doesn't do stupid things, but you know what pisses me off the most is every fucking time that it happens from like this obvious like, oh, you can't copyright this. I was actually talking about in a Discord that I am for like my writing class. Like, you're trying to copyright water, the ocean, Spiral. Like, if you're not going to be like serious about filing a lawsuit and like not get laughed out of court, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? So then, because like low key, Disney like gets away with more shit because how many times do they get in litigation with stuff that's like so fucking unserious? I'm like,
well, multiple times they should have lost trademarks on ass loads of stuff that they have, but they just screw with the U.S. Law Service or the Patent Office or whatever. I know that they've done something to screw with that to make stuff last.
oh yeah,
longer,
that's not the like debate. What I'm saying is that all the time, like, there's never like a serious lawsuit. Like, it's the most unserious like shit that you could possibly imagine, and it wastes everyone's time. And it just, I'm like,
are you trying to tell me that this man wanting $10 billion is not serious?
no, especially since like you have vague concepts like that Disney probably in technicality couldn't even copyright. They're just, copywriting the character design and like, the name.
I'm going to look into this because I saw this, made sure I had to put it in a thing, and then kind of forgot about it, so I'm going to look into it now. A lawsuit has been filed on Disney over the claims of Walt Disney Animation Studios lifted elements of another project pitch to create Moana and the recent sequel, Moana 2. God forbid, Disney's never, took an inspiration from
never
something.
ever done never.
Clymont Buckwell Woodall, that's a name and a half.
That's a name. Wow.
Is seeking at least $10 billion $10 billion in damages for saying that materials created for his original Buckywear were co-opted by the entertainment giant. The suit states that Woodall, I need to get back into actually trying for voice roles again. Woodall produced a screenplay and the trailer for Bucky that share details of the project with Jenny Marchick, then the director and development of Mandel Films in 2003 when the studio had a first look deal at Disney. She is now the head of film development at Disney DreamWorks Animation, allegedly requested additional materials including character design, storyboards, production plans, and a bid to greenlight the film. The complaint reads, Disney's Moana was produced in the wake of Woodall's delivery to the defendants of virtually all constituent parts necessary for its development and production after more than 17 years of inspiration and work on his animated film. That was a word salad and a fucking half.
That was a lot, yeah.
The similarities in the suit puts could not possibly have been accidental, including the key plot point of following a teenager off on a dangerous voyage in Polynesian waters to save an endangered island, as well as recurring themes based on Polynesian beliefs, particularly the incarnation of spiritual ancestors as animals, a plot involving a necklace, a protagonist encountering a tattooed demigod toting a giant fishhook, and a giant creature inside a mountain. The plaintiff also alleges the similarities between his original project and Moana 2, pointing out the sequence where Moana's crew are sucked into a watery portal, described as another dramatic and unique device imaginary imagery found in
unique.
That never happens. And plaintiff materials that could not have possibly have been developed by chance without malicious intentions. Woodall has previously attempted to sue over the issue, but the U.S. District Judge ruled in November last year that the suit had been filed too late. The release of the sequel sparked an opportunity to try again. Roy Clements, a Disney veteran who directed with John Musker and Don Hall and wrote with Jared Bush and Musker, Moana. Jed Bush, no Disney writer. Moana said in a court statement pertaining to the first suit, Moana was not inspired or based in any way on Woodall or his Bucky project, which I learned for the first time after reading this lawsuit was filed. So far, Moana 2 has gained over $90 million box office worldwide. The first film grossed $634.3 million, received Oscar nominations for Best Animated Feature, Best Original Song, and the franchise has also spawned major consumer product programs. So, yeah.
And the original idea of a teenager on a boat in the ocean.
Paul, I was going to bring this up if you didn't. Anyone who does not know about Kimba, go look that up.
Oh my God, for real.
It's something.
Yeah,
it's definitely something. Want to know something even funnier? In the Mufasa movie, the villain lions are white.
Oh my God.
I still can't believe you watched that. Like, I just refused.
Man, I give you a lot of credit. I quit on my brother. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah. That is like, what was the one? Oh my gosh, what was the number? I need to look it back up because it blew my mind. Do you guys remember the podcast where we talked about where Russia was going to sue Google?
Yeah.
Suing
Oh, God.
Google for how
It was like
much money?
something $1 trillion.
Oh, it was more than that. It was around $20 decillion.
Oh, yeah. I remember that now. It was it was some kind of
zeros.
That was
Are
ridiculous.
in a decillion. There's 33 zeros in a decillion. Of course the villains are white. Hashtag wokeism. We're only bad sometimes, I swear. Anyway, all right. So on to something a little bit less stupid. Sony Pictures plan a little bit. Sony Pictures plans to open a new production studio in Las Vegas, Nevada, with Summerlin Production Studios. 10 stages, mill spaces, and a 2-acre backlot. State-of-the-art studio facilities encompass 31 acres, including approximately 500,000 square feet, and constructed to LEED standards. I don't know why it's all like that. And powered by 100% renewable resources. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I don't exactly know what their studio setup is like. Did they just not have a good studio before that was out of date? Or
no idea.
Good question, but I'm a little bit surprised that there aren't more studios set up in Las Vegas. It seems like there's just more open space there.
Sands, it's everywhere.
Of course, it gets everywhere. But
yeah, speaking of which, did you guys see the fucking Watto comic?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
oh my god.
I did.
Public credits.
I am not falling for. I don't know why. That might be. Oh boy, I just tried a Watto and it sounded like a 40-year-old smoking Jewish woman. But
I mean, that's Watto.
I don't know. Is it that not far off? Really? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't call him a schmeckle quite yet, but it's okay. Okay. So, I don't know if there's anything else to comment on. I mean, like, that's cool. Maybe they can make more Spider-Man spin-offs now. I
would imagine it's probably going to be for like smaller things, and probably the main stuff's still going to be done on the Studio City lot.
Probably.
What would be the best place to set it up on the East Coast?
Honestly, if Pennsylvania wasn't stupid, there, because they have a lot of open spaces, and there's already like some stuff, but Pennsylvania's tax credits system is stupid.
Well, they are.
Oh,
I don't know anything about it. Is it like something specific that makes it really dumb, or
they just don't make it like competitive enough?
It's stupid. Can't confirm.
It's just because here's the thing, especially like on the eastern part of the state, like you're right connected to 95, and like the housing is like somewhat affordable, and you're like within, like especially like you're like within driving distance between both like Philadelphia and like New York. Like I don't understand.
Yeah, it is weird. But we'll see if anything comes more out of that. Another little
Paul is just like Pennsylvania stupid. Can confirm.
I'll have to ask. I have a good friend of mine that moved here after she married my roommate's brother, who used to live in PA. So I'll have to ask her what the deal is on that. Anyway, so the script for Avengers Doomsday is reportedly still being written. The writing team has until March.
Oh, what a shock!
Great, thanks for the info.
We got 2 more months, baby.
Awesome. Who else can we fit in for a cameo?
No, that's Secret Wars.
Oh, you don't tell me they're not going to be prepping those cameos in the previous movie, Michael, you silly pickle, you. All right, on to some more things from Sony.
Marcus or Doomsday.
I am going to pronounce this incorrectly. Halak Patel, who oversaw the studio's Spider-Man villain spin-off movies, has left Sony. I can't imagine why he was
Can't imagine.
banging it out of the park, one might say.
Thought?
He also served as the point man on the Holland Spider-Man trilogy.
Don't let the door hit you on your way out.
I don't know how much of a point man you are, where you pointed as went, yeah, Kevin, the room with the important stuff's over there. I've never heard of this guy mentioned until he was leaving the studio.
Isn't he the same one that like really defended like Madam Web?
No, that was the actual head of Sony.
That was Tony something.
Oh, okay.
No, that was this is guy just working in it. That was I believe the head of Sony Pictures that was defending him. Yeah, DC should set up a Doomsday Clock countdown to troll Marvel.
They had the Doomsday Clock miniseries.
They do.
And I don't really want to remember.
All right,
The prequel
so
to Watchmen.
Yeah. We talked about Muschietti a little bit earlier. He randomly decided to update us on something that I forgot was in development. News, the Shadow of Colossus movie gets its first update in a decade. The director, Andy Muschietti, has said it's not an abandoned project. He likes the script very much. Financial matters need to be sorted out before the movie can get moving. Shocker. There are multiple versions based on how much funding can be secured. That's a smart move. Muschietti wants to push for funding for the best possible version. It needs to be a silent movie. And it needs to, I'm blanking. What's his name?
Are they doing this live action?
Yeah. It's a live action version they've been working on for a while.
I was going to say they could do like a CG version and make it like that Flow movie.
If they did that, that would be good.
That would have been.
They could. Well, that's not what I wanted. They could do that. But what I would like, and I'm blanking. Oh, now I remembered. I have nothing against Andy Muschietti, but if they're going to make a accurate kind of silent filmish version of Shadow of Colossus, Genndy Tartakovsky should direct it.
I'd be down for that.
It'd be really good because the guy gets it. Anyone who's watched Primal, it's not far off of, not as violent, obviously, but it's all those little mini things in there. All right. On to, decent human beings. So Dark Horse takes serious allegations against Neil Gaiman and are no longer publishing his works, confirming that the Sonny Boys comic series and collected volumes have been canceled. How long has he been, actively being accused of crap?
This started, I think, in August?
Personal thing, Neil Gaiman always kind of gave me, the vibes, but I'm I kind of like some of his stuff, but I never, rode hard for him. So when this came out, as a woman,
same.
I wasn't shocked.
Sandman was about the only thing that I read of Gaiman's, but he was always the one that was just kind of weird. I never thought anything else.
Yeah.
But, eccentric people are going to eccentric. Didn't they also, I could be completely wrong, didn't they say they were finally getting moving on, the second season of Sandman after forever?
Yes, they said that about a year ago.
Yeah. Because that show was really good. Scarily good. I watched it with my surrogate dad. He didn't know a damn thing about it. He's like, this is weird, but I like it. I'm like, yeah, it's well written. It's really, really good.
It was pretty much a one-to-one adaptation, too.
Yeah.
Almost. Really, really close.
It can work. I'm going to bring up JoJo again. Shocker. That was a thing during podcast with the Castle Super Beast. The people that inspired me to do a podcast. Another really good one, go watch them. Pat and Wooly are amazing. But they were talking about it where Wooly was like, yeah, David Productions seems to have the art of adaptation down pat, and then Pat goes, "Yeah, you're right. They look at the manga and then they animate it."
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like,
God.
that's just what they do. But yeah. So this is a little behind because obviously the talk is back. But I had to bring up the absolute hilarity of
Oh, that
We're
24 hours
banned-
was hilarious.
that 24 hours. Well, that about 3 days leading up to it, and then the Sodal ban. But like the 3 to 4 days leading up to it, where they're like, we are scared for our citizens' data that it's being stolen by the
Oh my
Chinese
God.
government underneath Oracle, even though it's on Oracle servers in the US. We're saving you by shutting down TikTok. What does the US do? Go download the Chinese equivalent of TikTok. And then, with light speed, they started English translating the entire thing. All the TikTokers coming over were being welcomed with open arms, calling TikTok refugees, and they were getting lessons in Mandarin from Red Note developers, from Red Note creators.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
amazing.
Hilarious.
I'm just
That was
sitting at home
great.
watching. This is the best protest I've seen in history. It's awesome.
They did.
It was like, I don't like petty people, but when you make pettiness an art form, I
Oh, it's
adore it.
brilliant. It's
I
really great.
adore it. Duolingo subscription skyrocketed. Yeah, you're 100%
yes.
right. You were 100% right. And thousands of Americans just willingly gave their data to China.
Yeah.
You're right, Umbreon. They absolutely did. They literally changed their layout to be more like TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. That whole week was great. Like, I remember my surrogate parents, the Hatfields, live about 3 hours away from me. So I was there, and they shut it down 4 or 6 hours on the previous night before they were supposed to. So then I was just watching them oh, TikTok's gone. And I went, oh well. I was really okay with it. I found a lot of animes that I liked. I found podcasts that I liked because of it, because they give good shortened clips and advertise well. But I was like, okay, I got 6 or 7 podcasts to listen to out of it. That was cool. And then all of a sudden, on my way on, I get home and wake up the next day, and my buddy Morgan that was at the Hatfield too goes, I think they already reinstated TikTok. What? I literally just drove home. What are we doing? But yeah, that was that whole situation was just
That whole thing is.
It was
Did you
phenomenal.
guys see the memes
Insanity.
of TikToks? They
How
actually-
long it lasted?
Yeah, it's the clip from SpongeBob.
Yes, that's right. There was another really good one. I can't remember what it was. Oh, dang it. There was some bangers that were on there, but it'll hit me like a rocket as soon as we end this. But okay, on to something that basically only me and Kiona care about. The WWE and TNA have signed a multi-year partnership. And Tony Khan can be found in the background going, fuck!
God damn it.
That was the one! That was the one! This right here!
Yeah.
I remembered who brought it up to me. It was you, Paul, that brought it up.
Yes. Yes, on Monday. Yeah, last night.
Oh yeah, that is true. There is some technicality behind that I forgot to mention. Technically, there's some other stuff if you deleted it and some accessories, but I have a feeling that because the current going around rumors is supposedly Microsoft is buying TikTok.
I've heard that.
Oh Lord.
For a while, it was I can't remember his name. He's a Republican. What's his name? He was I don't know if he was a Senate member or not, but he had raked up 20 billion to try and get it. And then there was someone else who was going to buy it. And now the
other one I think that's rumored is that who owns TikTok servers?
It's Oracle, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the other thing is Oracle.
That was the other one?
Talks. Yeah.
CEO of Paramount. Oh, that was one. Okay. I thought it was almost confirmed it was going to be Meta. No, that's what everyone thought when it was gone for a while, and then Facebook had an official page. That's what everyone thought. Because they're like, we don't want China to steal our data. We want Mark Zuckerberg to do it. But
Sure, that's a better idea.
yeah. But anyways, back to the partnership thing. And we talked about this on Raw. They announced it that or the big thing going on, I can't remember what, I think it was PW Insider mentioned that Jordynne Grace has signed a multi-year deal to WWE, so get ready for her to be showing up in that freaking Rumble first thing Sunday, or Saturday, I should say. Also, hi, FBI agent, yeah. Hey, buddy, I didn't take Red Note. We're good. I know I said I wanted to shoot Phil Spencer. We'll get over that. Sorry.
And it turns out
allegedly,
to be Mulder.
WWE wants TNA on international TV, so AEW. Yeah, I saw some of that too. I wouldn't doubt that there's some pettiness involved in that. I really wouldn't.
Yeah.
That there's not that involved
sure.
either, because Triple H, as I will say, is a much better guy than Vince is. But Triple H was also the guy that kind of ruined the UK wrestling scene with WWE, with UK NXT UK, kind of cannibalized it, all of it, and then they just stopped doing it. But he's gotten better. I wouldn't doubt that it was genuinely, because Jordynne Grace has talked about how Naomi was a great bridge for that, and they've been working back and forth with them. I will say it was genuinely probably a good business deal, but there is definitely at least a 20% going, so Tony, you beat NXT for a while there, huh? How does it feel if we took away all the people you can't have? And supposedly, I don't know if this is true, there's a report that Tony had the opportunity, and this, I don't believe it's true, because when the dates line up, that there was multiple times where Tony could have possibly bought in TNA, because there's multiple times where they probably could have gotten bought in for the change in Tony Khan's couch. But there's another thing saying that supposedly, and I don't believe this is true because I don't think they would have signed their lives away, that supposedly toward the end of this deal, eventually that WWE is just going to end up owning TNA. I don't quite think that's true, but yeah. Triple H wanted global, and Vince didn't. Yeah, but yeah, you're not wrong. That WWE wanting more running. Yeah, you're right. Nick Khan has been a big help for deals and certain stuff, especially with TKO. So that definitely could be better than McMahon is not a very high bar to cross. The bar, it hasn't been constructed. You just have to walk. And oh, great, something else for Zaslav.
God damn it.
Wait, if he doesn't know it's there, he won't do it. So
I don't think he's aware.
Yeah, that's basically what happened with Rooster Teeth. He found out it was there and then it was gone. All right.
Oh, jeez.
On to a bit of a somber thing before we get to the stupidity of the world. So I'm not as versed in it because I didn't watch baseball a ton, but I should bring them up before we get on to the one we're probably going to talk about more. Basically, Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker, passed away.
Oh, yeah.
And like,
Sorry
for
about
those
that.
people that don't know a ton of him, he actually, for as much as ingrained in baseball he is, he didn't have that, I want to say, shine of career compared to other people. It was more of his personality that got him around. But like, he was the announcer in at least the first major league. I don't remember if he was in the second one. But yeah, he was a great guy. We were watching some YouTube clips of some of the suits this man used to wear on live television. That man is a braver man than I. But I had to bring him up to not forget him because it is a big deal. But the one we're going to talk about a little bit more is that David Lynch passed away at 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big loss.
You could just talk about movies, anything you guys want to bring up, because that's a big one.
It's not just the movies. It's
Twin
sort of-
Peaks is another one. Yeah, that
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
Twin
I mean,
Peaks
how
and-
many like things that Twin Peaks inspired, like, you know, stuff like
Oh,
Persona,
absolutely.
Gravity Falls. I mean, Jesus Christ.
True.
Crap, video game Control,
Yeah.
That was big in there.
Alan Wake.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Alan Wake for sure. Freaking, I always think about it when I think of John Schnapp. He always wore the shirt. Eraserhead.
Eraserhead, yes.
Yeah, the original Dune.
Yeah.
Jeez. Mulholland
First cinematic
Drive.
adaptation of Dune, yeah.
Yeah,
what did Jack do?
See, there's...
Yeah, without Twin Peaks, I don't think we would have had X-Files.
Oh, hell no.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. Absolutely not. We would not. It's one of those things where... Didn't they continue, or like, I want to say, I don't know if they finished it. Didn't they continue the plot of Twin Peaks? Like,
yeah, it got
4 or 5 years ago?
it got like a sequel, like, conclusion series.
That's what it was. Yeah, it's really freaking sad. One of my favorite interviews with David Lynch was in TV Line. It was the continuation of Twin Peaks. Lynch says, basically didn't answer any questions, but just kept talking about how Crazy Chair was just finished building.
That's awesome.
That sounds like
or his boys with all the random like gas station Woody Woodpeckers.
One of my other, I know it doesn't have to do with David Lynch, but anytime I have an opportunity to bring up the story, I have to. There was this like dine-in dinner like interview between Guillermo del Toro and John Carpenter, and Guillermo del Toro was talking to him about the Thing, and he's like, I know it didn't get its flowers back in the day, but I really have to tell you, and I know it wasn't a box office hit, but I have to tell you, I really think that The Thing is one of the most influential films of all time and really set the standards for how certain stories and other things are done nowadays. And then Carpenter just looks at him and goes, what fucking good does that do me now? And then in the transcript, he then ate his dessert.
Love that.
Apparently, David Lynch was going to be the original voice for Bill Cipher? Really?
Wow.
That would have been interesting, yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where you don't have to make a ton of stuff, but the amount of stuff that he did make, all of it was good. Or like I should say, was inventive, I should say.
Plus, just as a personality, he was fun. Like one thing I remember during during the pandemic, he would do like the weather reports on every Friday.
Oh, that's
right. God.
I forgot about that. That
So
shows up on my
funny.
Twitter all the time. That's right.
And then, lest we forget, his cameo as John Ford in The Fabelmans.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Was he in the Cleveland show?
Yeah, he was a recurring character.
Oh nice.
Well,
I never
himself,
watched the Cleveland
that's
show.
funny.
But, that's awesome. Nice. I love whenever you get the opportunity for the person to come in and actually be themselves.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's always fun.
So we need to. He's a bartender. We need to. So a lot of times with the social medias are a mistake thing. It's never good. But once there's been a thing that I swear I've seen 5,000 fan arts and like 600 edits of this, and it's one of the few times where I was like, we can't have TikTok go away because this saw one of the cutest things I've seen in my entire life. And I want to say it was at a Target. This mom and her daughter, Winry, which was named after Winry Rockwell from Full Metal Alchemist, went into a store and oh no, I'm blanking on the name of the character from My Hero Academia. Oh,
Keep talking. I'll bring up
it's
information.
the Fire and Ice hero. I'm blanking on his name, but
Todoroki.
Todoroki. He's got this burn mark on the side of his face, and this little girl has a birthmark that covers the entire right side of her face, and she walks up to this thing, and she's just like admiring it. He's like, his silver hair is so cool, and he has a birthmark just like I do. And she's like, just thinks it's the coolest thing on earth that she has this cool anime hero that looks just like her. And she's just absolutely adorable. And it's one of the cutest things ever. I'll say, if you guys haven't seen it, I'll send in a thing, but she's like maybe 4, 5. And it was just so freaking cute. And then it ended up being seen by David Matranga, who is the voice actor of him. And he's just like, he saw it, thought it was, he's like, I'm literally dying in tears here. The creator of My Hero Academia saw it and thought it was the coolest shit ever.
Aww.
And then
That's
they were
awesome.
like,
Yeah.
the other things was like, someone made a comment about, hopefully she never hears how we got it. And then Patrick Seitz, who's the voice actor for Endeavor, quote tweeted it and said, in all caps, not one word.
The best.
But then, like, there was animations of it. Yeah, you're 100% right, Umbreon. And that went back to a thing we're going to go on earlier. Proper representation that's just there, and you don't make stupid comments. But anyway, like, there was people that made fan animations. People made her drawings, like actual, like, little manga panels and stuff, and sent it to her. It was the coolest shit ever. Stuff like this almost never happens in these situations. And no one would have saw that if this cute video of her wouldn't have shown up on TikTok. And then it showed, like, there was pictures I saw of, like, her, Zuko, and all these other, it was awesome. And it just, yeah, it was so good. But yeah, I just had to bring that up. It was so good. And like, I believe the Japanese voice actor even commented on it about how cool he thought it was. It was a big thing. And it was so freaking cool.
See, guys, social media isn't always a mistake, just most of the time.
No,
just most of the
not
time,
always.
like these next examples we're going to bring up.
Yeah.
Beautiful
so,
transition.
Kiona, I'm going to have you talk about the one you brought on. Because
Which one did I bring up?
the video games are not cool. I believe
yeah,
that was you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you take that.
Oh, we're getting mistakes on Blue Sky now? Wow, we're super evolving.
We're moving up in the world. We're in the ritzy apartment complex now.
Oh,
We're not in the shady crack den where the cocaine users are on the back porch.
Before we go through, speaking of like rats and stuff, did you guys see the parody of Amelia Perez?
No.
It's made up by all Mexican students, and it's about like, God, what the hell was it called? But anyway, it's like 30 minutes long, but they have this like one scene where like little Remy's from Ratatouille, each time it cuts, more and more arrive.
Oh,
and like the rats are hanging on everywhere.
jeez. Gotcha. All right, Kiona, what do you got?
Okay. This feels like it was a lifetime ago, considering all the things that I've seen on social media since then. But anyway, about 8 days ago, there was this post where
It was about Final
basically
Fantasy,
somebody,
wasn't it?
huh?
It was about Final Fantasy VII, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
No, that was the other one that I brought up the last show.
One. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
this
Okay,
one
go ahead.
is basically someone posted a question on Blue Sky that said, "I don't want to hear your most boomer complaint. What's your most millennial complaint?"
Okay.
So somebody answered and skied it and said, playing video games is not cool, and it was a mistake to elevate this antisocial pastime that mostly involves engaging in solitary fantasies of domination and violence into a respectable hobby. Meh. And so somebody else responded to that and skied it and said, I'm going to just use sky as the term, and said, I never engage in quote posting or screenshots, but this one was brought to my attention because I'm a gamer. This isn't a boomer or millennial thing. It's just incredibly wrong and stupid. I feel sorry for this person who never experiencing the joy of Mario Kart or Smash Brothers with a loved one. And also for just never experiencing the fact that games Yeah. Just never experiencing the social aspect of games, never experiencing the fact that you can just have a lot of joy just from playing a game.
Mhm.
I was playing Doom 2016. Now, not a game that you might associate with joy.
Hey, man.
But I was playing Doom 2016 one day and hanging out in Red's Discord, my best friend Red. Shout out to her. And just like I was in voice chat with them as I was playing. Everybody else is playing like cozy games and stuff, and like they're playing like whatever it was, like Palia, I guess at the time, whatever, or Disney Dreamlight Valley or something. And I'm sitting there playing Doom, and I'm like, and all of a sudden I just like start like just getting really into the game, and then I'm like, yes, and like they hear me just do that, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry. This is my cozy game. I'm just saying this is what defines coziness to me. So I'm gonna just, sometimes it needs to come out. Sometimes you gotta unleash the demon. Okay, you gotta rip and tear. It's fine. But yeah. I mean, Umbreon. Here you go. Yeah, that's the thing. When I was playing Destiny, when I was a huge Destiny player, I mean, I made a lot of friends playing that game. I still have people on my Xbox, friends list from like Mass Effect 3 multiplayer back in the day in 2012, for God's sake, or whatever it was. So, I mean, I still have people on my friends list from that, from just playing the cooperative mode and stuff. And like, games are there for fun. They're not there to be any kind of like, they don't rot your brain, first of all. That's ridiculous. They don't cause you to become a violent maniac. I think that we've seen that, not to get
They've been
political, but I
possibly
think that we've
tested to help
already
with
seen
hand-eye
that.
cord. They've been possibly.
Yes, they could possibly do that. They could possibly help with relaxation and stuff. Sometimes games get very sweaty.
Hand and eye coordination, and your brain functions.
I mean,
it's an early
they give
onset
games to like people who are like recovering from like strokes or something, like older people.
Exactly.
And it's an early onset deterrent to prolong possible Alzheimer's in people whose families who are like susceptible to it.
See, I don't disagree there, Crafty. I think there was definitely that whole like kind of push where you had Doom and Animal Crossing. I thought that was wholesome as fuck. I thought that was amazing, honestly.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
like they have
physical
Weeds at nursing
exactly.
homes now everywhere.
I mean, there's like so much uses for video game. It doesn't have to be just the good old fashioned ultra violence, but I mean, I enjoy that. I like my Ninja Gaiden 2 Blacks where I get to dismember a bunch of enemy ninjas. I mean, it's good times, man. You can't take that stuff away.
No, that's my favorite thing. Like Paul brought up, it's going to say they're going to do with video games where they go into watching or like wrestling or do whatever. You'll have it's an anti-socialist thing about fantasies. I'm like, and then they'll say like the same thing, like
violence or whatever.
Well, no, not even that. One of the big things they'll bring up is, well, it's fake. I'm like, cool. You watch TV at all? Mm-hmm. Watch any movies, anything? Yeah. Darth Maul, is it real?
No, really? Damn.
Game of Thrones wasn't either. But they're like, yeah, but it's like, no, it's a story in a medium. It's a thing you enjoy. It's going into lands and other things that you love, and you get all these like through Destiny. I'll bring up another one. I got to know a guy in Canada. I got to meet him in real life at one of my roommate's brother's wedding. He's one of the nicest people ever. Now we hang out once a year here in Wisconsin. It's like it's a Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's gaming is just interactive storytelling. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
People are just stupid. We have enough bad takes in the world. Mike, do you wanna take this? Because I'm pretty sure the one that put this
God.
Oh my God.
So we'll start with what the
start with the thing he quote tweeted.
Yeah, I'll start with what was quote tweeted. I see a lot more film Twitter than I used to, and I'm fascinated by the ways these people seem much weirder than music people to me. The fixation on Criterion Awards in general is something I'll never really understand as a music person. As someone who's both we don't have time to get into the details of all that, but I really want to focus on this because this I saw this and just immediately had to throw it into the box. Film isn't a mature enough art to deserve a fandom. The first 20, 30 years of film are unwatchable, and the last 20 years of film are unwatchable.
Good
You're only
lord.
engaging with 40 years of decent output, which means a dozen or so great films a decade. Essentially, it's an art form that can be appreciated with just 2 to 3 years of your life, and then you can move on. There's not enough there. No. Absolutely no.
This is like such obvious bait. If it isn't bait, then this is like the stupidest fucking person I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm glad I could help you out, Paul. Anytime, buddy. Yeah, that's just one of the worst. That's not even just a bad film take. That's just one of the worst takes I've seen in my life.
It's a joyless take that.
Yeah, it really is.
Because if you want to break this down, this applies to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Books, games, music. Nothing can be great because they've done it for so long because everything's the same.
Oh my god.
It's just, tell me you hate life without telling me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
how does does this person experience any kind of joy from anything?
Well, he bought a blue check, so
yeah.
I think you kind of answered your question.
Fair. Quote Michael Scott from The Office: "Why are you the way that you are?" So, and yeah, that guy would have probably been better off in his life, just turning his Twitter off. Not unlike Peter Parker voice actor Hudson Thomas says his biggest fear about #your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man was that it was going to be annoying and woke. And it wasn't. ... It's so well written.
Hang on. I'm gonna share
Kieran, are you having a stroke? Like you feel like you're ready to die.
I am going to share the
if I wasn't interested before.
Because I need you guys to hear the. I need you guys to hear the.
You know what sucks is that a lot of cool people in like my sphere are working on this, and then.
I need you guys to hear the paragraph that came after that quote.
Yeah, please do.
Woke is a term which, more often than not, used as a dog whistle for racism and sexism in entertainment fan bases.
Not wrong.
This interview also comes at the same time that Collider's Mike Thomas spoke with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man showrunner Jeff Trammell, who eloquently spoke about bringing a new version of New York City to life, one that is flush with representation that accurately portrays the many different cultures in one of the biggest cities on Earth. Fame's Oscar-nominated co-star Coleman Domingo has already experienced racist backlash for his casting as Norman Osborn, a character who is not inherently white in the comics.
Hey, now those fades that he normally has make sense.
Oh my god. Coleman Domingo, by the way, one of my favorite actors, for God's sake.
Yeah, he's great.
So good.
He's great. I mean, like, the legit only thing, like, I get it. It is an obvious, what I want to say, insert to have diversity thing with the Osborns being black, whatever. It doesn't change them.
Nope.
They did the same thing with Wally West. It didn't change the character. I will bring up, this is one thing. It's a good friend of mine. Is a giant Flash fan. Loves the Flash. And loves the Flash, but then also didn't realize that the Flashes had different personalities at certain points because I had to correct him on that. The only Wally was a shit talker, really, out of all of them. But so I bring up that in the Flash TV show that they made the West family black. Now, keep in mind, this is probably 5 years after in the New 52 they made Wally West black, so it was already a thing. And he was upset about Wally West becoming black in the comic book, saying that he's a big fan of it, and that's not right. I'm like, well, if you're a big fan, you'd already know that he was black in comics, so this wouldn't be a shock to you. But anyway, so then he said the thing that annoys me with people that don't get what is a bad race change and what isn't. With this statement, he said Wally West is known for having orange hair. No. He is known for being a jokester and a speedster. No one on this planet goes, give me that comic. I can't wait to see Wally have orange hair in this panel. That is not what you're known for. If you're not opening up the comic book to see that and that part the most, that's not what they're known for. And then I pointed out afterwards he's been Black in the New 52 for 5 years, and then he was magically okay with it. This is the thing where, as a ginger, I'm offended past. Hey, buddy, I got orange facial hair. The Irish is coming out. So that's the thing where you see who was, I can't remember what superhero brought up this argument. I want to say it was someone suggested that Idris Elba could play Batman. I believe that was one of the big things.
Yeah.
And, he could. Honestly, he could. And then you always get up the photoshops of Ryan Gosling as Black Panther, and they go, well, let's just make Black Panther white then. I'm like, tell me you don't understand when race is important without telling me. Race doesn't matter to Batman. It matters to Black Panther.
Yes.
And as much as, again, it's, yes, they're changing it to have more diversity, the character of Norman Osborn doesn't change because his skin color changed.
Exactly.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
At all. And they didn't make a giant deal out of it this time. They didn't go, we got a Black Norman Osborn, the show's better. They just had him be black and showed the trailer, which is what you should do.
Do you remember the, it's that same thing as like Michael Clark Duncan playing Kingpin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the first Daredevil. And then remember in the 90s, in that late 90s, I want to say it was late 90s. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was like early 2000s. But that MTV Spider-Man CGI show.
Oh, I barely remember that.
That was like early 2000s.
That was like early 2000s, right?
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought he was great as Spider-Man.
Yeah,
anyway,
so
the Kingpin was, Kingpin in that was played by Michael Clark Duncan. And so they made him a black man, and that was fine.
Yeah, and I'm going to be the guy that might get a little bit of hate for this, but Kingpin is meant to look like a wall that has a head. Do you know who looked more like that? Michael Clark Duncan did versus Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
Who's closer and I'm not trying to be race baity or anything, I'm asking an honest question. Of those two, Michael Clark Duncan was bald and white. I'm sorry. Vincent D'Onofrio, bald and white. Michael Clark Duncan looks like a actual fucking wall
and
is bald.
Yeah.
Which one's technically closer? Is Michael Clark Duncan automatically disqualified because he had the body for it, but he was black? The same thing with Michael B. Jordan in the Fan Four Stick. Michael B. Jordan is a great person to play Johnny Storm.
Yeah, he played it really well.
Mm-hmm.
And are you going to tell me that Johnny, if you had a room of people, 17 white guys and Michael B. Jordan, if Michael B. Jordan smokes all of them in the audition process, we got to be like, well, here's the thing. You're not tall enough because we don't want to say the real, they fixed it. And then you want to know what it became? What really pissed me off during all that? Because what it then turned into was after everyone realized they lost the fight was saying that Michael B. Jordan is a good person to play Johnny Blaze because no, Johnny Storm. Freaking. But anyway, to play Johnny Storm, they then went, well, you ruined Johnny and Sue's relationship because now they're half siblings. They can't love each other as much as they would in comics.
Oh,
Objection.
Go fuck
crying
yourself.
out loud.
Go fuck yourself. There's more people that I have met on the internet and have never met in person that I love more than my blood family.
Yeah.
Blood does not make you love each other. And to be fair, you can make a good story out of the fact that she loves them just as much, even though they're not blood related.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Shocker. Inventive storytelling. Ah. To be fair, Duncan gives off an aura that does that. Vincent, you're true. That is very true. Vincent does it with actions. You are very, very true. You're not wrong. They had different opinions on how they did it. That is spectacular. Yeah, you're very true with that. But it's just people, like, we talked about this in the chat. People need to take their Twitters taken away.
Honestly, it makes me not want to watch the show.
It's so, like, and then you get, like, it's one of those things where you just get, like you said, put off by it. When Bree brought up in her chat, when you could have just shut your mouth.
Not only that, it's like a reverse Uno by using catchwords. You know, when Disney was doing like that thing in the late 2010s about first gay, like whatever. I'm like,
yeah,
it's literally, this is just the reverse Uno of that. I'm like, it doesn't mean shit.
No, it doesn't. And we've talked about this on this podcast many times. Don't mention it. Just have the thing be in the movie. Don't advertise it as the big thing. Just have it be normal. You want it to be a normal thing. Stop using it as a selling point. Because then you're doing the exact opposite of what you actually want to happen with your representation.
But then you're doing like the same thing here where it says not woke. I'm like, that's literally the same shit. I'm like, you're putting words in there and making a thing out of, you know, it's like, oh, there's a black person on screen. It's woke.
Yeah, it's the word woke anymore doesn't even make sense because it's just code for thing I don't like.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
And it tells you what a person is when it pops up on screen because they're either sexist or racist because it depends on what they call woke first when they see it on a TV screen. Because just even... When did Horizon come out? 2018? Horizon came out in 18? So. No one made a big deal about you being a woman fighting off robot dinosaurs with a bow and arrow because it was a video game. Now, we have a woman in a video game fighting in Japan, and it's, yeah, I don't believe a woman could win a fight, so that's not realistic. It's woke.
It was 2017.
2017, sorry. But it's like, so,
It's just a shame. Like, just, this show has had, like, such, like, a rough production. And it's, a lot of awesome people work on this, and it's just looks like it's just gonna be, like, a freaking dud. And it's just,
depressing. Haven't they also didn't they say, oh gosh, I want to say a few days ago I saw, aren't they already having the budget and like the storyboards done for like 3 seasons?
Mm-hmm.
That's not that unusual that they'll greenlight 3 at once. So I
get that greenlighting 3 at once, but before the first one's out, they're already on storyboarding for like the 3rd season.
That's not that unusual. But here's like the thing. I'm like, people need to learn to shut their mouth. You want to know how Tim Allen has stayed employed for like so many years?
Shut the fuck up.
He knows where his bread is buttered, and he shuts up.
The man has had the same TV show 3 different times and stayed successful. Now, give or take, the only time he didn't shut up is when there was something where I can't remember who was what broadcasting channel had The Last Man Standing on it. They were doing something about like shafting his show. I can't remember what it was.
I think it was ABC. It's probably because they didn't want to pay for, because this was before like the Fox merger. So this was ABC. I think the show was actually produced by 20th Century, but Disney didn't own them yet, and Disney didn't want to pay for another season. So that had like nothing to do with it. It's just called, well, we have enough episodes to run in syndication. We don't want to give you a 7th season.
Yeah. And then it went to...
I think it just went to Fox.
It went to Fox? That's what it was? Yeah. And then just went on again. And now he's got... what was it? It's with Kat Dennings and Sean William Scott. They work at an auto body garage. What was it? ABC also does The View. Could have been a disagreement there.
Shifting gears.
Shifting gears. Thank you so much. But yeah, it's amazing what people can get done if they just shut the hell up. You don't need NDAs to just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
It's crazy where you can get in life.
If you want to have dog shit opinions, fine, whatever. Just keep it to yourself. And don't put like your co-stars and like your production staff's careers in jeopardy because you had to, be an idiot and say something.
Yeah, thank God we haven't had anyone like that whose names rhymes with Bo DeMaio over the last few... Oh, wait, that did happen.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's almost like you could send your entire career through a paper shredder by just being a dumbass.
Speaking
You
of
should have
Marvel,
just shut the fuck up because honestly, like that whole thing, like when the show was ongoing, everything was fine.
Yes. And the fact that Disney didn't make a big deal out of shoving his ass to the curb, and he had to go out of his way to go, hey, Disney, you didn't say shit about me being fun. Maybe you should just shut the fuck up, because Disney could shut you up.
Shut up, bro.
Real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Mike, you were going to say something.
I didn't want to bring this up, but just because we were talking about, actors and celebrities shoving their foot right up their mouth.
Oh, God.
You guys want to talk about Anthony Mackie's comments about Captain America? Now this is the opposite.
I don't know if I read these comments.
Hold on, I'll bring them up.
Now, is this a good way or a bad way?
Good for him because what he's saying actually kind of makes sense, but it's how everyone else interpreted it that he had to clarify.
Shocking. Anthony Mackie probably put it in the most blunt way possible because that's who he is. To everyone hydrate. I'm not sure the last time I saw you do it. I'm empty, Paul. Got anything. Don't worry, I'll be slugging down the water after we wait for this thing to render in the background when we're done.
I'll start backwards with his response, because he was talking about how like Captain America has to be like Captain America is just like a man with conviction and all that.
Yeah.
But he said like he said like America. He said something about like America doesn't have to be like one of the things he's about. So he responded with this. Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where it's a character that embodies what America could be.
Exactly.
Yep.
And wants
it is
to
again
be
the
better.
ideal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that always escapes people when they're like, yes, do you remember when this character was made?
Yeah.
It's almost like there's a hint there of when they bring up and call him Captain America, of what they wanted this character to portray, of what they wanted to give hope to people.
And there was that era where he became Nomad, which was
exactly because he was sick
of
of
commentary
his
on
country.
Yes. Yes.
It's almost like, wait, maybe it's the guy's morals and not the country.
Yep.
He has his own opinion? Crazy.
So here
ludicrous.
I found the original quote.
You're not wrong, Isers. You're really not. In that aspect, you're really not wrong.
Yeah. Because he's an idealistic character, yes. Go ahead, Mike.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity.
Yeah. Because, contrary to popular belief, America is a shit show most of the time.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Shock of
People
shocks.
who live here and are honest will say that. People who live here and are delusional will say, no, it's the happiest place on earth. Do you live in our country? Have you gone outside your room in a while? Because I love this country too, but I'll openly admit, it kind of just needs to hit the reset button. Like, because there's certain shit that's just broken to the point of not being fixed, and people can't realize that it's broken, so they don't think something's wrong because they've just gotten so used to it. And trying to explain that to people, they come off, oh, you're just some commie woke activist bullshit. No, I just open my eyes every now and then and realize stuff's wrong.
Was our last podcast before
it was?
Yeah, it was before Christmas. No,
we did New Year's.
It was before. Yeah, it was before it was 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
about 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, give or take. No, we're not getting into politics on this podcast. We're keeping it out of that. But like this, I don't consider this political. This is a guy stating an honest to God opinion.
No, yeah.
And
go ahead.
I don't think that I was stating an opinion when I say this country's kind of fucked. That's factual.
That's fact.
Sorry. If you disagree with that, you're delusional.
Yes.
The fact that there are still like homeless people is kind of proof that we've got some things to fix.
And that is the only thing I will say politically that I'm happy that we have is Doge. When you see some of the stupid shit we waste money on and not fixing our own fucking homeless problem,
yeah,
I don't need to know how hormones affect frogs. We can do other things. We don't need condom studies in South Africa. Sorry. We can help our veterans in other things. Oh yeah, sorry, FBI agent. I apologize again. I didn't mean... Go back to me wanting to shoot Phil Spencer. You're probably less unhappy about that. You're probably more happy about that statement than me criticizing our own country. I'm going to be probably really honest about that. Phil, I have nothing against you. That's a totally hyperbolic statement. I just hate how you say things sometimes. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to do something that we forgot to do at the beginning so we can end this at a little bit of different note.
Sure.
So, Kiona,
yeah.
How was your time? I totally forgot to do this at the start of the podcast.
Oh my god, we forgot to do this, didn't we?
We did.
I noticed. I just didn't want to say anything because we were already on a roll, and I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were kind of on a roll, honestly. Okay,
kind of is a word.
Kind of.
I mean,
yeah.
it was rolling off the train tracks, but
Yes. How's your couple of weeks?
Better to roll than not to roll. I think. Other than the existential dread, which I will not go into, I think that, it was an okay 2 weeks, very busy. Sleep has been at a premium lately and will continue to be for the rest of the week, I think, judging from what from what I've seen and heard. It's the best thing that I have to look forward to is the fact that, myself and a group of other friends are going to be doing a D&D thing on Saturday, which will be a lot of fun, and it'll be my first time participating. I am the bard of the group.
D&D is fun.
So
D&D
I've been putting together a playlist of music and stuff that we're going to be hopefully playing during while we go through our stuff. Yeah, we have a really good dungeon master, so really looking forward to that. That's the thing that I'm really looking forward to is just having that, just interactions and stuff and getting to play a role and everything and having fun with that. The character's similar to me, but me cranked to 11. So that should be a lot of fun to play. And yeah, I mean, I got Rebirth this week. I have not touched it yet because I'm still working through Remake and trying to get all the achievements in Remake. So we're almost there. The only thing that I did do was I opened it up just so that it could do like shader pre-caching. That was it. And then of course Ninja Gaiden 2 Black came out, and so I've been kind of playing that as well. But looking forward to getting to play some Rebirth soon and getting back to streaming again. So that'll be fun. Yeah, apart from that, it's just business as usual. Yeah. So
nice.
Pretty good couple weeks.
Bree?
Slight plug. So last week I did a podcast with Kiona. It's really good. I mean, there's a little talk. There's a little talk of suicide, just a little bit. Nothing too details, because no one wants to hear about. No one wants to hear about the me having an eating disorder. Who cares? Like, no one needs to know that. Anyway,
it's
so
okay. It's okay.
All right, so
that's what my podcast is for, to get into all that stuff. So
exactly, yeah. So if you'd like teen suicide.
Oh Jesus!
FBI agent, I swear to God, she didn't mean it. Calm down.
We're not condoning this behavior. We are simply saying that sometimes people feel that way and they come out of it and everything's fine, Mr. FBI agent. I know you're Fox Mulder. Okay. I know it.
Everything's gonna be all right.
Fred, the FBI agent.
So, other than that, almost done with my screenplay revisions. I feel confident. Actually got my hair cut to like my natural texture. So that's, weird, but good. And I adulted and bought a CD at the bank yesterday. So I've been like weirdly mature and having my shit together, which is weird.
Nice. Mike?
Business as usual for the most part. I think either last Sunday or Monday, I had Bree join Cameron and I for an episode of the animation podcast. And then I've just kind of been in the thick of award season, watching a bunch of stuff. This weekend, I'll finally be able to see The Brutalist because it finally came to my theater. So I'm excited for that.
Excellent. Very nice. So I had an eventful couple of weeks.
Oh God.
So I was gone for my birthday, visiting the Hatfields, which is a great time. I got to hang out around down there, watch the Silo, which I didn't know was a thing, so I'm going to start catching up on that. That was pretty good. Watched a little bit of Severance, which no idea what was going on because I only saw the last episode, and that was Apple, your TV shows are great. You need to advertise yourself better.
Oh shit! I almost forgot. Mythic Quest comes back tomorrow too.
Oh yes, I did hear about that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So then I was hanging out with them, came back, and then left to go on another work trip down to Phoenix City. On the way there, I about got to the airport at like 6 o'clock-ish. Flight leaves at 7:30. We find out as we're walking in that the flight got delayed until 9 because, and I'm quoting them exactly, our original plane broke.
What?
The exact word they used over the intercom was broke. Lying, I'm crying, I ain't shedding a tear. Broke. So then they had to fly in a plane from MSP to come get us, to fly us out to MSP. And then that triggered a chain of delays with getting some other stuff. So then I get to Atlanta finally, and we're getting our baggage claim. And like the guy who's with me from another department isn't like as used to going through airports. So I'm kind of guiding him through. And he goes, so we're getting our rental car next, right? I'm like, yep. And then he goes, do you know where we got to get it from? He's like, oh, I know what you got to do. He's like, you can look it up on your itinerary. It'll be there. And he goes, it's not on mine. I'm like, oh, probably only on mine because they probably put it under my name. And I look and go, they don't have the rental car on here.
Oh my God.
God.
And my superintendent at work, Mike, had just called me previously to give me an updated work list for my partner who was with us. And then I call back and go, so, Mike? He goes, yeah. Was there a mix-up in my itinerary? He goes, why? I don't have a rental car on here. And this is in Georgia, which is an hour and a half away from the city that I have to work in. So, and he's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, it's blank. So then we were walking across, which in the Atlanta airport, when you get out, you basically just go up a set of steps, go on his car, and then like 3 minutes later, you're on the Sky Car down at the rental car place. So as I'm going down the steps of the rental car place, they're like, yeah, it didn't get rented, but it's getting rented right now. So as I'm walking up to the counter, it got okayed. And then they're like, you're lucky. We normally don't have extra cars around. And then as we get to the car park, I was like, what can we pick? Because it's a crapshoot each time. And I'm like, well, Ted, do you want to ride in style? He goes, why? They had a Dodge Charger there that we could have taken. I'm like, yeah. And then we get in, and I'm seeing like air tire pressure stuff going off. So I'm like, oh, you better not take that. So we took like a little small Chevy SUV. We get down there, get ourselves checked in, all that. And then we work the first day. And for people that don't know, I'm from Wisconsin. And when we left for the airport that day, it was -20 with 7 inches of snow. Going to Phoenix City. We get out at the airport in Atlanta, and they're like, be sure to have on your jackets. It's a balmy 45 degrees outside. Like, that's a 65-degree temperature change. It feels like it's 90 out here. Are you kidding me? But anyway, so we have our factory that we're working in, and like the factory floor is here, and then there's like an L-shaped hallway where we walk through. There's a break room, conference room, and then the front offices. So I go through there, and I'm went to the bathroom about 3 hours before the workday's done on Tuesday. Then I get back out, and I come out, and the entire front office is looking out the front door. I have no idea why. And then I look, and I see that it's snowing. And I go, oh, did it snow a lot? And then I look out, and they're like, we're sending you guys home at 2 o'clock, and we're sending you home early because of snow. Me, the Wisconsinite, going, what? Huh? And then we get back to the hotel, and we bought some extra food and such because they're like, you might get like told you can't leave the hotel. Huh? We go to work when there's snow 20 inches of premium. What the fuck? What? And then, like, I've worked there 10 years. Ted's worked there 36 years. And then the next day, they're like, we're delaying you guys till 8. Come in after. We get ready to get food. And then they call us and let us know that work is canceled and that you need to stay at your hotel. And that's what it looks like. And it's 45 degrees outside. Mm. And then by the time we leave, we're going to Atlanta. The superintendent got missed saying bye to us. There's no snow on the ground. The roads are cleared. It looks like a summer day in Atlanta when we're driving to get there. And he calls me and goes, do you want to hear one last funny thing? I'm like, yeah, sure. They just canceled school tomorrow because of road conditions. And like, there was bridges barricaded so we couldn't leave town. Because you go over a bridge 20 feet from my hotel and you're in Georgia. The only place that had snow left was that barricaded off bridge. They had 3 inches of snow and it was sheer ice because they wouldn't clear the bridge off. And that entire time, we only saw 1 truck and 2 guys in the back of it shoveling off sand. That's all the surrounding counties had. Was that guy in that truck with his 2 buddies. But anyway, we got snowed in, which brings me up to the thing I want to talk about. I watched all of Pacific Rim Black, and it was fucking phenomenal. Anyone who has thought that it might look a little weird, and, AZ, right? That's a typical fall day here. But, it's kind of a sequel to Uprising, kinda, but it's basically Australia gets abandoned, and Blake's there in Pennsylvania. Yeah. But it's Pacific. It's basically Pacific Rim, but in Australia. And like the black is this area where they kind of just gave up on Australia and just gave it to the kaiju, and they crashed a bunch of satellites to make the ground uninhabitable so the precursors couldn't like terraform it. So it was really interesting. The 3D animation was actually great. And it was 2 seasons long. It could have used one more to fill out some of the character storylines a little better in the middle, but it was still very good. The writing in it was excellent. The voice acting was off the charts. Erica Lindbeck. No,
Lindbeck's in it.
Yep.
Lindbeck plays this AI named Loa who was sarcastic as shit, and it was so funny. And like, there's this moment where this thing called Copperhead, who has been chasing them for a while, finds their Jaeger again, and they're off town, so they can't control it. And Loa like recognizes that the thing's coming. She goes, "Great, this again," and gets tackled clean across town. She's just, it's so funny. I can't recommend it enough. It was super good. It was emotional. I was crying during it. And I'd like just kind of played it off or whatever. I watched the whole thing in like an afternoon. It's phenomenal. Can't speak highly enough about it. But yeah, and then other than that, I've been platinuming Astrobot, which has been a ton of fun. I beat it previously, but now I've been doing the platinum on it. That's really good. And then I'm finally going to play Sleeping Dogs after I'm done with that, because the definitive edition was on sale. There was a lot of good stuff on sale this last New Year's Eve sale, but yeah,
Nice.
got a lot of good games through that.
But yeah,
ended on a little bit better of a note. Completely blanked over it that we were doing it, but like I said, I was not gonna go back to it in the middle of the podcast. So I thought maybe we'll hit it at the end. But all right,
good.
we're gonna get on. We're gonna get on out of here. Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Renegade Pop Culture. You can also find us here on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Bree?
You can find me most platforms at some version of Crazy Lemur, but mostly at crazylemur.bsky.social. I'm also on Instagram at lemurs_rule1. And yeah, just follow me in my shenanigans. I'm actually this is like 90% gonna happen, starting a new podcast about bad movies, so I will keep everyone posted about that.
Yeah. Kiona?
You can find me on the Twitter at Neoplasmic24. I'm still there. Also on Threads and Instagram at Neoplasmic81. Threads is where I post my political opinion, so if you want to vehemently disagree with me, that's fine. And also on Blue Sky and Twitch at Neoplasmic. On Twitch is where I do the Meltdown podcast, which is the podcast that Bree mentioned earlier. Thank you very much for that plug, Bree. That was my last episode that I did was with her, actually, last week. And took a break off, took a little bit of this week off from that, but we will get back to it next week. And yeah, so that is the show where I basically just interview my friends and just talk to them about life and how they've inspired me and how we've become content creators and that sort of thing. And what we do and et cetera, et cetera. And also you can find me with Paul, our friend Clockshelves here, who is in the chat.
Yes.
Yes, because I do wrestling reactions with him and with Brock.
Going in Raw on Netflix.
Yes. Yes,
or,
yes.
Or
So we
Netflix and Raw, as I believe we call it.
Yes, Netflix and Raw. Yeah, that's our Raw reaction show that we do every Monday. Also, sometimes we'll do Saturday night's main event, or if there's like a special kind of event that happens, we might cover that as well. Mainly
Peacock,
WWE
get your shit
right
together
now
to make sure it streams simultaneously for everyone.
Yeah, for real. Peacock is really weird. And also on Paul's Clock Shelves channel, I am usually a guest on Buffyverse and Converse, which is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel rewatch podcast, and also on Lost with Friends We Had to Go Back, which is the redone version of the Lost Rewatch podcast that Paul first started many moons ago and now has revamped into a more new viewer friendly sort of podcast. So yeah, I'm a guest on those two as well. And also I am on the Renegade Arcade Show for Renegade Pop Culture as well, which we will get back to pretty soon.
Oh, absolutely. You know it. You can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. I will be back to actual gaming on Twitch this upcoming week. I'll be getting back to it. I wanted to take most of January off to actually play some other things. And because I don't take free time for myself a lot. I've noticed that. So I'm trying to get better at doing that. And anything that anyone who likes cosplaying, that is what my Instagram is for. And I need to be on Blue Sky more. I have one, but I barely ever use it. But I do have it. But anyway, yeah, check out everyone. Paul, again, thank you. The raw reactions, that's a fun thing. As soon as Peacock gets their crap together, I want to do more pay-per-view things, but we legit watched Saturday night's main event, and Kiona had an 8-second lead on me. And
it's so weird. Because you refreshed
so
that.
dumb.
I know that you did, and yet it just didn't
Several
even help
times.
at all. It's so strange. I
But
don't understand.
Anyway, we're going to get on out of here. We should be back to a semi-regular schedule now, unless something else happens. So we will see you all next week.
Next week. Bye.